Jagarative. Jai Masters. One of the biggest mistakes that people make on the spiritual path is to think that there's a separation between their spiritual life, their spiritual practices, their spiritual pursuits, and their daily worldly life. Relationships, finance, business, non-spiritual friends, problems, etc. The truth of the matter is, when you're really on the path, there's only one life, and that is the spiritual life. You mean I should drop out? No, you should not. My job's not conducive to my spiritual growth. No such thing. The relationship I'm in is not conducive to my spiritual growth. No such thing. What does that mean? To go that deep and get that clear, you have to start with the foundation of what is spirituality. You all have read the books, you all have taken the course, whatever, so I'll go very quickly. You are not okay inside. I know maybe you like to think you are, but compared to a master, compared to an enlightened being, you're in big trouble. You're not okay inside. What does that mean? I have worries, I have problems, I have desires, I have anxieties, I have emotions that are disturbing, I have thoughts that are disturbing. That's what it means to not be okay inside. It's not embarrassing, nobody's judging. It's the foundation. I'm not okay inside. If I'm not okay inside, what do I do about it? You try to be okay inside. That's what you do about it. How you go about it, that's your business. But that's what you're doing, is trying to be okay inside. And the foundation basics of that are, if it scares me, I try to avoid it. If it turns me on, I try to get it and keep it. How's that for basic truth? Okay? That is true of everybody. The it varies. What it is that turns you on, what it is that scares you. I'm not interested in that. It's not a question of value judgments or right or wrong or good or bad. It's not. It's just the foundation that I'm not okay, and some things outside make me feel better, and some things outside make me feel worse, and I'm not stupid. I want to avoid the things that make me feel worse, and I want to get and keep the things that make me feel better. So that is an honest foundation of what everybody's doing. So that's where the separation people start to draw between spiritual and worldly. They think, okay, I've tried, this is sort of a spiritual midlife crisis, a worldly midlife crisis. I've tried my whole life to be okay. You have. What toy do I want? Where do I want to go to college? What do I want to do? With the boyfriend, the girlfriend? Everything. Your whole life. Not just your whole life, every minute of your whole life. You've done every single thing you can to try to figure out how to be okay and how to get it, how to avoid what you don't want. That's just what you've been doing your whole life. Join the crowd, because everybody else is too. People sometimes come to me, why are there so many wars? Why can't people get along? I just told you. Because everybody's doing the same thing, but they all want something different. That which turns you on turns him off. Well, which way should it be? Well, let's fight about it. One way or another. Let's manipulate each other or do whatever we need to do. That's where it all comes from. If everybody was okay inside, if everybody was literally filled with joy and love and happiness all the time, there would not be any wars. There would not be any disharmony. There would not be any destruction. Why would you? You're already okay. It's when you're not okay, you're trying to get what you think will make you be okay. And we're little, so one person can't cause too much disturbance. But if you're Putin or Hitler or one of these people, they can cause a lot of trouble. Just give somebody all the power and see what happens. They're going to try and make it be the way they want it to be. And don't get in their way. So basically, now you have the foundation of all of human life. So what happens is, at some point, like I said, I'm going to go very quick in this talk. At some point, you wake up. What does that mean? You realize, wait a minute, if I have done something every moment of my entire life, and I'm still doing it, maybe it doesn't work. The whole thing about fixing what's wrong with me by getting what I want to compensate for it, or avoiding what I don't want so that it compensates for my problem inside, that doesn't work. Well, then what do I do? Give up? No. There are other methodologies, true paradigm shifts, of how to try to be okay inside. as opposed to getting what you want and avoiding what you don't want. I'm going to repeat that because nobody will teach you that. It's all, get your life coaches. It's all about getting what you want. Decide what you want, go get it. Don't quit, ever. Search yourself. Do everything. Dress to kill. All of it's the same. So what's the paradigm shift? The paradigm shift, which very few people make, is to realize, okay, it's not wrong to try to get what you want. It just doesn't work. How many times have you said, if I get this, I'll be okay? Were you? For a little while. How long did it last before you wanted something else? No one has ever gotten what they wanted and it was over. Ever. Not in a relationship, not in money, not in anything, ever. No one has ever done it in the history of the world. Why? You get used to it. It used to blow me away the minute I saw you when you said you loved me. Now, take it for granted, all right? If you tell me you don't love me, now we got a problem. But when you say you love me, I expect you to love me. We've been married for a while. It doesn't blow your mind anymore. Maybe if they buy you a new car or get you some special vacation, oh, okay, if I feel the love again, see how long it lasts. Come back and deal with the kids and deal with this and deal with the finances. So you just realize getting what you want and avoiding what you don't want makes sense, it's reasonable, but it doesn't work. So what's the alternative? So I teach it as follows. If you are not okay inside, there's a reason. How do I know? There's a reason for everything. What do you think science is? Trying to find the reasons. What do you think medicine is? What do you think everything is? They're all studying what happened and trying to find the reason. You have this disease. What caused it? They go down to Buddhists, say, work at the root. So you're down there trying to find out, why am I not okay? Now your mind, which isn't as smart as you think it is going to sit there and say, all right, why are you lonely? Why are you lonely and depressed? Because I need someone. No, that is not why you're lonely. That is your attempt to fix the fact that you're lonely. The way I always explain it is if you ate food that made you sick and you have a stomach ache and you want to go get the Pepto-Bismol and you can't find it, you're frantically looking all around and a friend comes in and says, what's the matter? What's the matter? I can't find the Pepto-Bismol. That is not what's the matter. What's the matter is your stomach hurts because you ate wrong. That is an attempt to compensate for the fact that you're not okay. That's what all of this is about. You're not lonely because you don't have somebody special. You are not lonely because you don't have somebody special. You are lonely and you think finding somebody special will take care of your loneliness. It's a compensation thing. You're not scared because other people get to tell you what to do or because of this. You're not in charge of everything. I want to have control. Then I'll feel better. No, that is an attempt to compensate for the fact that you're insecure, for the fact that you're scared. What if you weren't insecure? Period. What if you weren't lonely? What if that was not your inner state? You can still have a relationship, but it'll be a way of expressing the beauty and love that you have inside yourself. Not, I'm not okay, and you're going to make me be okay, because it ain't going to happen, except for short periods of time, all right? Nothing outside of you can fix what's wrong inside of you. You have to find out why it's wrong inside. That's a paradigm shift. That's a whole nother way of looking at things, as opposed to, what do I need to compensate? Well, that didn't work, I'll try this one. It's just basically saying, why am I not okay? Why? Why do I need things? Why am I not okay? And what you will see, like I said, I want to do it quickly because I want to go deeper. I do it very deeply in Living Untethered, this whole thing of why, right? You look inside, and I'm telling you, you know why. You just won't pay attention. Every day of your life, you see why you're not okay inside. What do you mean? Sally, my friend Sally. Sally, how you doing? She keeps walking. Just walks right through the plaza. Doesn't say hello. Doesn't even turn around. How you doing? No. Your mind starts thinking, why did she say hello? What did I say? What did I do? Oh, I wonder if she heard about that thing I said. You got all this garbage going on inside. Okay, fine. What happens next time you see Sally walking across the street? You go the other way. Either you yell at her or you avoid her. That's why you're not okay. Why? Because Sally didn't say hello? Sally had earphones in. You don't have any idea what she didn't say hello. She's thinking something. You don't anything. Yet you stored it inside of you so that the event that took 10 seconds, you know what Sally is? One of 8.5 billion people on the planet Earth. They didn't say hello either. But you couldn't handle that she didn't say hello. What if you could? What if she went walking by and you said, oh, she probably got those earphones on again. Now what happens next time you see her? You love her. It's wonderful. You did it. There's one line in the new book. If you learn nothing else, learn this line. The moment in front of you is not bothering you. You are bothering yourself about the moment in front of you. The fact that Sally didn't say hello is not bothering you. It's just a person walking by. Lots of people didn't say hello, walking right down there next to her. But you decided to bother yourself about the fact that she didn't say hello. I'll repeat it. The moment in front of you is not bothering you. You are bothering yourself about the moment in front of you. The weather is not bothering you. You're bothering yourself about the weather. What you're doing is owning the fact that you bother yourself and saying, no, that's me. Okay? Lots of people like it hot. Lots of people like it cold. Lots of people like it rainy. You can't handle it. It's rain because you were going to go out on a date and go hiking. And you really wanted to do that. The farmer has been waiting for the rain because he doesn't want the crops to die. Just think of it any way you want. The moment in front of you is not bothering you. You're bothering yourself about the moment in front of you. That's the paradigm shift. So now you're not out there trying to change the moment so it doesn't bother me. You're questioning, why can't I handle life? That's spirituality. Not accepting that you can't handle life. I mean, you're not going to fight with it, but that's not your point. You're not sitting there saying, I know I can't handle it. I never liked the rain. I can't handle it. Instead of then trying to move somewhere where it doesn't rain or getting upset every time it rains, you take a look at it and say, why can't I learn to enjoy the rain? Why can't I handle the Sally didn't say hello? Why can't I handle the driver in front of me who's going 10 miles an hour below the speed limit? I can't pass. I'm in a rush. That's reality. Why can't I handle it? That is spirituality. And that's a paradigm shift. Because now, instead of working on the outside to try to be okay, you dared to work on the inside to try to be okay. I told you, there's a quote from Rumi that's very, very beautiful. It says, yesterday I was clever, so I was trying to change the world. Today I'm wise, so I'm changing myself. That's what we just said. And guess what? That works. Permanently, not just a little for a while. If you work with yourself and stop not liking the rain, then you're fine with the rain forever. You learned to enjoy instead of bother yourself about things. It shouldn't be that the moment in front of you is not bothering you. You're bothering yourself with the moment in front of you. It should be the moment in front of you is not bothering you. It's sending you into ecstasy. That's what I want you. I don't want you just not being bothered. I want that the moments that are folding in front of you are a gift from God. Can we talk about that moment for a moment? The moment that you're experiencing, at any moment, like you're here looking at me, they're looking at different angles. No one has ever seen what you're seeing. Think about it. No one, it never happened before, and no one was sitting there. And when you get up, no one has seen what you're seeing. The sequence of events that you're experiencing never happened before. No one has experienced them while you're experiencing them, and they will never happen again. You are getting a unique experience of life throughout your life. Whew. Ever feel you wanted to be unique? I think you're pretty unique. That's pretty unbelievable. Everybody's getting a private showing, all right? And all you do is bother yourself about it. What's wrong with looking at it that way? There's an example. Wow, look at the moment I got to experience. Unbelievable, all right? And that's what you experienced. Imagine if you could be like that. You wake up in the morning, I'm back. I wonder what's going to happen. It'll be fun. Something's going to happen. Go to Mars. You get bored to death. Go anywhere else. In the whole that we've seen, all these Hubble and James Webb telescopes, I ain't seen squat that's worth going to. There ain't nothing on Mars. You go spend billions and billions and billions of dollars to go up there, and there's a lot of work to have anything happening. There's nothing here. There's never not anything happening. It's quite a place. It's a happening place. What if you could be like that? What if you could just sit there and say, I get to have a moment. That's called be here now. It's a real be here now. I get to have a moment. Which one? The one that's in front of me. That's what it means to be here now, is there is a reality in front of you. What if it came in and it was just like, wow, I never experienced that before. He yelled at me so much for such a long time. I kept time and he even spit at me. Wow, what an experience of sitting on a planet in the middle of nowheres, spinning around the sun, and this is what's going on. What an exciting thing. All right? So you start questioning, that's the paradigm shift. What? You're working with yourself instead of working with everybody else. If you get this person not to yell at you, you better get busy because the next one might. If you get to the point where you say, here's the key. Can you handle reality? There's some work for you. Not can you make reality be what doesn't bother you and make reality be what you want every moment of your life? Give me a break. No wonder there's so much stress. No wonder there's so much anxiety. So if you sit there and you understand, you're dead. You're dead if you do that. Because you're never going to get everything you want. And especially, you don't even know you're going to get it. You're worried that you won't get it. Oh, I got a better one. That's more 100% that you can't argue, right? Have you ever been bothered by what happened in the past? Well, you're never going to change it. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your bother. You're bothering yourself. I got a rule I try to hold him by. If it ain't happening outside, it's not happening inside. I was supposed to be experiencing reality, but something happened 20 years ago and I'm embarrassed about it, or I still hurt. You're never going to win with that, are you? And by the way, that's the secret of why you're bothered by everything. Why? If every single moment of your life that something bothers you, big things and little things, the weather, somebody said, everything, when it bothers you, you push it away. I don't want it to have happened. Of course, it did happen or it wouldn't be in there. But I don't want it to have happened. So I can't mess with the outside because it already happened. But I can keep it away from me. I don't have to let it all the way in. I can close. That's the word. I can close. I can resist. When you do that, you store the event inside of you. Where's it going to go? It's energy passing through you. Everything's energy. Einstein said so. So it's just coming in and passing through. And you say, no, not on my watch. I can't handle that happened. Ever said that? I can't handle that happened. I can't handle you said that. Can't handle you did that. I can't handle my parents got divorced 30 years ago. You push it away. If you store inside of you every single thing that ever bothered you, what's it going to be like in there? Bothered. That's why you're bothered. You have created needs because you blocked your energy. You blocked your Shakti flow. You blocked this flow of beautiful love and energy that's naturally inside of you by shoving down things on top of it that are closing you. That's what you do. Every time you close, if the light is beautiful outside and I close the blinds, what's it like inside? Dark. That's one of the chapters in the Enter the Soul. It's now dark inside. I have two choices. That's really exactly what we're talking about. Hire a lighting crew to come in, light every corner, do this, have everything, get all this stuff, make it bright in here, or open the blinds. One is temporary, the bulbs blow out, the electricity goes down. The other is totally natural, just stop closing. That's what this is about. If you close around things that bother you, you have just stored inside of you bother. How do I know that? Does it come back up? Do you ever think about it again? Does it come up in your dreams? If you see the person again, does it come back up? If you go to your high school reunion, you're 50 years old, you go to your high school reunion, do you notice that the same people that bothered you in high school bother you now? That's 30 years ago, 40 years ago. They're not the same people, nor are you, but it does. And the people you really like, you go stand next to them. Do you understand that? The cliques immediately get back together. Wow. Wow, what's that telling you? It never went away. What didn't go away? The stuff you stored in there. That's not memory. I go into that really deep in the new book. That's not memory. Memory's like a computer memory. Stuff gets stored. Your mind is brilliant. It can store memory. It doesn't come up by itself and haunt you. But your memories do that. Now, memories, the stuff you stored in there that was not neutral. It wasn't just an event, dotted line in a road or a particular tree or someone you met. It's, nothing that had the power of emotion or disturbance, right? Or need. Neither desire nor fear. It just was an event. How many events have you had? Millions of them, right? They come in. You can still remember them, but you go down there and bring it back up, okay? I remember I was in New York. I remember that building. It didn't come up by itself. But these things that you store because you couldn't handle them, you hear me? I couldn't handle it because I wanted it so bad I didn't get it. Not just negative things. I couldn't handle it because it didn't like it. It hurt me. You had a thing inside that couldn't handle it, and so you pushed it away. That is what's blocking your energy flow. We started this whole conversation by saying, I'm not okay inside, let's compensate for it outside. But now we're at the paradigm shift, which is I'm not okay inside. Why? Isn't that what we said? Why am I not okay inside? And don't tell me because I don't have what I think I want. It's not the outside that's making you not okay. It's because you're not okay inside because you didn't deal with things properly. You made a mess of your inside by storing every single thing that ever bothered you inside of you. So now we looked at the paradigm shift. What's the paradigm shift? Instead of trying to make the outside not bother you, how about we get rid of what's really bothering you? I have had people come to me and say as follows: I'm never going to get married. You have a right to never get married, one way or another, who cares? But this person, if I ask, why are you never going to get married? They want to sit down. Let me tell you, all right? When I was 5, my parents got divorced. It really bothered me. It just bothered me. I was only 5. I couldn't handle it. I missed my father, missed my mother. I wanted them to be together. They couldn't. I didn't let my stepfather, or whatever the heck it is, right? Okay. So, heck if I'm putting my kids through that. Wait a minute. You don't have any kids. That's right. It made such an impression on you, it ran your life. You can't be okay. So I'm not getting married, but I'm lonely. What are you going to do? I don't know. Don't talk to me. It happened 30 years ago. It's over. It should not be affecting your life at all. You can learn from it, but learning from it doesn't mean storing it as a negative experience. You go to school, let's say you get a B on a paper, a math paper, and you go, oh my God, that's what the integral meant, and you learn something. That shouldn't bother you forever. Oh my God, I got that wrong in 5th grade. So basically, you catch on. The problem is what you did. The problem is not what anybody else is doing. What other people did is hit your problem that's inside. You have soft spots in there, don't you? I tell you, my favorite saying that I've ever heard is, you know we don't talk about that around your father. It's like something's wrong with daddy. It's not supposed to be like that. If the event's over within a reasonable period of time, I'll give yourself some time, to work it through. But if the event's over, it's over. It is not haunting you. It's not coming back by itself. You're not governing your life based on the junk that you stored inside yourself. That's like the lowest part of your being is making decisions. All right? So now we have the foundation of what the paradigm shift is. And they happen to call that spirituality. True spirituality. What? Working on yourself instead of working on everybody else. It's called the inner work. You work inside. What does that mean? Now you get down to real spiritual growth. Remember, we're going to tie together outer and inner work. So what does that mean? It means, and I teach it, I'm very gentle. I didn't used to be very gentle with it. There are things that are going to happen outside on your daily basis, many, many times a day, that bother you. Not big things. They're tiny little things. How about this one? I swear, I thought she said something that I wish she hadn't said. I thought she said something that I wish she hadn't said. Well, why don't you just think, I like what she said? He's just making it up anyways. You know what I mean? It's just, you bothered yourself for no reason. That's what I call low-hanging fruit. Things happen. Here's the definition of low-hanging fruit. If I let them go inside, there's nothing to do about them. I'm bothering myself. Start with tiny, tiny little things. Somebody said something, I think it bothered me, or it hit something from the past, right? Or the driver's driving too slow in front of you, or the weather isn't exactly what you want it to be. Hear me? These are not hard things to let go of. I go into very deep in the book, cost-benefit analysis. Which one of you, if an employee showed up to the boss at a conference meeting, we're making a decision for investments, said, okay, I got one, my turn, what's the cost? 100%. What's the benefit? 0. You're fired. Why would you do something with 100% cost and 0 benefit? That's what you're doing inside. When you bother yourself about the weather, what's the cost? 100%. What's the benefit? 0. You just bothered yourself. It's negative. You're not happy. You're disturbed. What did you get for that? Nothing. Very bad investment decision. Now you see I'm starting to tie the outside world and the inside world together, aren't I? All of a sudden you got business decisions inside that are perfectly reasonable and rational. But you don't work on the inside. You think what I need to do is I'm not okay, I'm insecure, I want to impress everybody, so I better bring the business decision they pick and then I'm the one, right? You're sitting there saying the outside has to do something because you're messed up inside. Why don't you not be messed up inside? And so it's not personal. I'm going to tie them together. I would love to go to a business meeting in which what's being discussed is not your ego. I don't care who brought the proposition up. Do you not care? No, that was my proposition. And you guys brushed over it too fast, and I'll keep bringing it back throughout the entire meeting. They disturb the whole meeting because it's not about the business. It's not about this. It's about proving they're right and that they're smarter. I'm sure you've met people like that in business, all right? And so basically you wake up and realize, wait a minute, my everyday life is a spiritual journey. Every day of my life, I'm storing more of this garbage inside. Ever walk out of a meeting and be upset? It's a meeting on the planet Earth for people talking to each other. How can you get upset? Well, they didn't give me the respect I deserve, or somebody else he's going to get the raise because they picked his thing. No, it's crazy. So what you do is you start with small things. That's what I want you to do. I want you to start with small things inside yourself. Become conscious enough to notice what's going on. You'll notice yourself starting to get uptight. You notice yourself starting to worry. You notice yourself starting to get anxious. I told you how I deal with that. You're sitting on a little planet, sitting in the middle of nowheres. You're at a table talking with people. Why are you getting anxious? Because you have a mess inside and you're trying to use this meeting to make your mess feel better and not feel worse. But that's not what we're doing on the inner work. We're sitting here saying, oh, this is an opportunity to let go. What is? Sitting in the meeting and getting anxious. All of a sudden, it's not what you're sitting on a pillow. You're saying every moment of my life is about letting go of this garbage I stored inside. Why? I might get what I want. We already said, get what you want, fine. It'll be over in no time. Let go of what's actually disturbing you inside, and you'll start feeling joy and love spontaneously. Why? Because that's what's in there. Well, why don't I feel it? For the same reason, if a cloud goes across the sun, you don't see the sun. It's blocked. What's it blocked by? I told you. It's blocked by the stuff you shoved down there on top of it. So once you understand this, you realize every moment of my life is a spiritual opportunity to grow. Every moment. Why? Because you get disturbed every moment. You drive down the road, it doesn't work, the thing is that, the billboard gets you upset, the person driving in front of you gets upset, the person sitting next to you is talking too much, the person they're never talking at all, I feel uncomfortable. Whatever the heck it is, you know what I'm talking about. It gets really sensitive in there, doesn't it? It gets really hard unless you're completely in control and you're the one who's talking and they like what you're talking about. There, now it's working. Those are your friends. Well, what are your enemies? The people that don't listen to me, the people that disagree with me. No, those are your friends. Those are your friends. Why? They're pointing out where you're screwed up. If people agree with you all the time, what are you going to get? Nothing. So basically you catch on that what it's about is letting go of the inner mess that I created inside myself. And I have that opportunity every day of my life, every business decision, every moment, every person, every relationship. Have you noticed relationships are difficult? Which one of you noticed relationships are difficult? To keep feeling love all the time and to be all excited about everything all the time. Well, you did that. No, it's what he or she did. No, it's because you resisted what they did. It's because what they did hit something inside of you that was uncomfortable. And they weren't supposed to do that. They said they loved me. They're supposed to adjust their behavior and know what I need when I need it, or there's going to be some changes around here. Right? And you wake up and you realize, I have all these soft spots inside of me. Mommy, daddy, first boyfriend, first husband, whatever the heck it is. And then somebody's out there, they're going to hit my stuff. They're not doing it on purpose. All they have to do is say boo when they hit my stuff. All right? The wrong boo. Boo, boo. Yes, I told you. Here, you're madly in love. It's an intimate moment. You're completely open. Your heart's bursting open, right? And you sit there and say, God, I just love you so much. I can't even handle it. And the person says, yeah, I love you too. Why? They said they loved you? No, the tone matters, doesn't it? You don't stand a chance of not getting hurt. You don't stand a chance. But I'm very spiritual. I accepted it. I accept it. What do you mean accept it? I pushed it down there, and I'll give him one more chance. I'm being very giving. No, it's not supposed to have bothered you. Of course it bothered me. No, he was thinking of something at the time. Sorry, this didn't match at that time. Okay, last time you were thinking of something. All right? And so basically, what it means to really grow is not, okay, I don't want to get upset about it, I'll let it go. You shouldn't have to let it go. It should just go through. It should be funny. Let's go to dinner. Maybe this isn't a good time to be intimate, right? Why can't you be like that? Wouldn't that be more fun? Then you're not storing stuff that you little by little. I'll give you 3 strikes. No, there are no strikes. There's nobody keeping score. They're just experiencing, interacting with a person who's different than you. They're not supposed to be different from me. Of course they're supposed to be different from you. Every experience you have programmed how you are. They had totally different experiences, didn't they? Their whole life. How can they be the same as you? There's no one out there that's the same as you. They had totally different experiences. Everywhere is totally different experiences. Twins have totally different experiences. And so it's not about judging and saying, well, I'll accept it this time. I'm being very accepting. The deep person who understands, if you want a quality of life, you don't judge. The Bible says, judge not that you should not be judged. For whatever measure you judge, will be measured again back unto you. The third Zen patriarch, deep Zen teaching, says to end the burdensome practice of judging. What's that all about? It's the fact that because you're not okay, you're judging everything based on the fact that you're not okay. Why'd I have to rain on my birthday? God doesn't like me. What are you doing? The rain didn't know it. And I guarantee you, God didn't do it to punish you. It's just something you're doing with your darling mind that's causing you trouble. So the inner work says, I'm going to learn not to do that. I learned to play tennis. I learned to play the piano. I learned to do calculus. Well, you guys learned some serious stuff. I'm going to learn to stop bothering myself and blaming everybody because I bothered myself. And that's what the spiritual journey is. That's what the real paradigm shift is. The real growth is I'm in here. That's what witness consciousness is. I'm in here noticing that I'm bothering myself. Well, okay, what should I do about it? Stop. No, that's too easy. No, it's not. That ain't easy. That's harder than anything you ever did your whole life, is stop bothering yourself. Because you will right away think, no, you bothered me. The rain bothered me. This bothered me. I didn't get the job. That bothered me. You're going to blame everything outside because you got bothered inside. No, you stored bother inside of you your whole life, and now you're blaming the world for hitting it. The answer is let go. How do you do that? I told you start with small things. What do you mean? Here, I'm going to make it easy for you. There is a moment unfolding in front of you. You pick it up with your senses, it comes inside of you. We got that solid? All right. Can you honor its right to exist? Now, you should be embarrassed that I asked you that question. Can you honor reality? Can you honor that the sun got to shine? Can you honor that the rain got to fall? Can you honor the drivers driving the way they're driving? That's all that's happening, is reality is happening. So you start with saying, if I'm going to be okay, I better be able to honor reality. Otherwise, I'm fighting life, and that's a pretty big thing to take on. A lot of you still look at me like I'm crazy. How can I honor reality? Why is the moment in front of you the way it is? Why is it? Go ask the scientists. Why is it hot? Ask the meteorologist. Why is this? Why is that? That's what we study. The moment in front of you is the sum integration result of all the forces that made it be the way it is. Do I need to repeat that, or do you agree? The thing doesn't just sit there, all of a sudden it shows up out of nowhere. All the causes of all of time and space came together to cause that moment and that moment and that moment. It's not special for your moment. They all are the sum result. Like psychology says, your mind is the sum of your learned experiences. The moment is the sum of all the experiences that ever happened, coalescing together to cause that moment. Now you're sitting here asking yourself a question, can I handle this moment? The answer better be yes. Why? You didn't make it. You don't control all those forces that made it be the way it is. I say something I know you can't handle. The moment in front of you is perfect. The moment in front of you is the perfect result of all the forces that made it be the way it is. Okay? It doesn't mean you like it. It doesn't mean socially and morally it's perfect or anything like that. No judgment. Just it is the result of all the forces that made it be that way. Therefore, it is the perfect expression of all the forces that happened before it and are happening now. There it is. I realize you don't like it, but that's a different issue. And so you start working with yourself. Can you work with yourself and sit there and say, I can handle this moment? That's all I'm asking you to do. I can handle the moment in front of you. Why? The option is to say, I can't handle it. Well, what do you mean you can't handle it? It happened. What do you do if you can't handle what actually happened? I don't know. You get weird. Anybody following me? There's no place to go from there. I understand you might not want it to happen later, but it did happen, and you're in front of it, and you better be able to say, I can handle this. Otherwise, it's going to screw you up for the rest of your life. That's what happens. You say, I can't handle it. Okay, then you be a mess, be something. So you start with simple little things in your everyday, things you don't think matter. I can't find my pencil. I can't do that. Whatever. There's so many little tiny things. My hair didn't turn exactly the way I wanted it to be. Whatever the heck it is. I dropped some ketchup on my slacks. I have to go back to work. You're sitting on a planet in the middle of nowhere, worrying about little ketchup on your pants. And so no other planet has pants or ketchup. You should, wow, man, I got some ketchup, man. It was great. And so you just sit there and say, the moment in front of me is God. The moment in front of me is holy. The moment in front of me is the most sacred moment. Why? Because it's in front of me. It's not in front of anybody else. You made me cry. How dare you say you love God if you can't handle the manifestation that's in front of you? I love God if he or she does what I want. This is the moment that was given to you by the entire universe. It took 13.8 billion years of everything that happened for that moment to end up in front of you. You honor it, you respect it, you love it, you worship it, you pranam to it. That means I accept it. Now, what happens if inside doesn't agree with me? doesn't agree with this transcendental way of thinking, this reality of thinking? Then it's spiritual growth. Then the moment's really there for you. Not only was it a gift that it exists, but it's there for your growth. If you can't handle reality, there's something wrong with you. You're supposed to be the highest species of the evolutionary process. What does that mean? Adaptability. You're able to handle things. That's what a high species is. You can't. You can't even handle somebody sneeze. You can't handle one more person went into the elevator when it was crowded. You can't handle anything. How about we start to work on it? That's what spiritual growth is. It's working on yourself to raise yourself, not manipulating the outside so that it matches your blockages, matches your lower self. Right? I can't handle this, so it shouldn't happen. No, you can't handle it, so it's good growth. Because there shouldn't be anything you can't handle. How do you like that? There shouldn't be anything you can't handle. But there is, and that's good. That's good. If you're learning a sport, you will not be perfect at it when you first start. So say tennis. It goes into the net quite often. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? It's a good thing. It means you didn't hit it right. And you can learn how to hit it different. If your coach always hits the ball exactly where you're good at it, and then you go on to play a match, you're dead. Because they're not going to hit the ball exactly where you're good at it. So it's best that it be hit exactly where you can't do it, so that you can learn to do it. You accept that with sports all the time. What do? I practice, right? I practice. Why don't you do that inside? Why is this not a sport? Straightening out this mess you made inside is a video game. It's a sport that you get to do inside yourself all the time. And guess what? It doesn't take any time. You can still do your work. You can still drive your car. You can still have a relationship. It has nothing to do with that, does it? It has to do what are you doing inside while that's happening. And I know what you're doing inside while that's happening, attempting to manipulate it so it doesn't bother you. Attempting to make sure that everybody's exactly the way you want them to be, when you want them to be that way. Instead, you work on yourself. And you sit there and say, okay, a moment unfolded and it hits something inside of me. I don't want that inside of me. It's been inside of my whole life. I've been sensitive about this. I've been afraid to talk publicly. I've been this, I've been that. I'm embarrassed about dropping something on my pants. I was so scared to go to a party because I might be wearing the wrong thing. No one told me exactly what kind of party it was. And you hear me? You want to live like that, do you? Hear me? Let me ask you a question. Who has ever had a conversation with somebody, and when the conversation was over outside, it wasn't over inside your head? Why did I say that? Oh my God, I forgot to say that. That would have been so impressive. Nobody? Isn't that fun? No. It's neurotic. It's crazy. The conversation's over. Okay? And the most embarrassing thing is when you can't handle it's over and you actually call the person and say, did you think that what I had said was... And they say, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hear anything. They didn't even know you said anything because they're busy thinking about themselves, not you. It's like, are you willing to wake up? This called waking up. This stuff comes up inside, it hits your stuff, and you're a conscious being, and you say, not on my watch. What do you mean, push it away? No, don't push it away. That's how it got stuck in there. I am capable of handling what's happening. Start with the little stuff. Just start with look how much you bother yourself about everything. Just take a breath and say, no, I am not going to do it the same way. When the tennis shot, do you do it the same old way every time it didn't go over the net? Do you lower the net? Do you get a new coach that doesn't hit it that way? No. You say, I will adjust how I'm interacting with the ball in the net so it does better. How about inside? I will adjust how I'm interacting with the moments in front of me so that I cease to bother myself about them, so that I enjoy them and appreciate them and grow from them. There, I started the conversation by saying there is no separation between your spiritual life and your worldly life. They're the same. They're the same thing if you use them properly. So you now have an opportunity every second of your life to grow spiritually. And like I said, it doesn't take time. It's something you're doing inside. You're doing something inside anyways while you're doing everything else. You're supposed to be working. I wonder if I get credit for this. Probably, God, last time I give credit to George, right? I don't know. I'd rather be at skiing and things like that. You're doing it inside anyways. But what you're doing is bothering yourself. Why don't you use that inner time to raise yourself? That is the definition of spirituality. There's a line in the Bhagavad Gita, and getting deeper than the Gita, that says one should raise the self with self, not trample down the self. For self that can be self's friend can become self's foe. And it uses Atman, the word for self, capitalized and lowercase. Well, what does that mean? You're in here, you, the consciousness, can become friends with your lower self. It can raise the self with self, not trample down the self. You're not judging, there's no guilt, there's no shame, there's no fear. You're just basically raising yourself instead of destroying yourself. I know it's hard to believe that you're doing it. Otherwise, there's just a world unfolding, passing through you. Fine, yes, for a while it doesn't feel good. It cannot feel good. I'm not saying everything should feel good. Rattlesnakes don't feel the same as butterflies, do they? A rattlesnake all coiled up rattling does not feel the same as a butterfly flying around, does it? Everything has its nature. So it's okay that it feels that actual interaction is not comfortable. But then when the snake crawls away, I don't want you to be neurotic for the rest of your life. You won't take the kids, to a zoo or this or that, or a rope scares the hell out of you, or a rattle, right? No, it is not supposed to affect the rest of your life. It's just an experience that you had, and it passes by. Work with yourself, work with yourself, work with yourself. That's what spirituality is. When? Not just on the meditation pillow. It's good to meditate. It helps center you. It can make you stronger, more stronger center, so you can come out in life and use it properly. But it's not enough. It's every minute of your life. Are you dragging yourself down and destroying yourself and everybody around you also? Or are you raising yourself? And start with the little stuff. Raise yourself up. How I go into the book, you can use affirmation. That's what I talked about tonight, is affirmation. I love it. I like it. I can handle it. And mantra can work. I'm not going to go into it. There's techniques. Ultimately, I ask you a question. Are you in there? Do you ever manipulate your thoughts and mess with your emotions, when they come up and so on? Do you have hands in there, or are you just totally helpless? No, you're in there messing around, aren't you? You have the right to use the exact same willpower that you're using to mess yourself up, to raise yourself. You just have to commit yourself to it. That's growth. Not how do I get what I want. Now, is there anything wrong? Let's just close it down. Like some people write me, that's passive. Don't I have to do a thing, earn a living, and act? Of course you do. Of course you do. But your motive is not to manipulate the world to compensate for what's wrong with me. I'm in here working on letting go of myself. Of course I go to work. Of course I may get married. Of course I may have children. Of course I take them to soccer or whatever I'm doing. That's your job. It's your Dharma. The only reason you're not doing it is because there's something wrong with you. You're sitting there saying, God, I gave them my career for these kids and I think I'm going to soccer. What are you doing? Why don't you sit there and say, God, this is great. I'm on a planet spinning in the middle of nowhere taking my kids to soccer. That's affirmation. That's raising yourself. Everything is that. What if you're doing business? Is business holy? All businesses are holy. Why? For one thing, business is about providing services, products and services to people. Well, what if it's a vacuum cleaner and they shouldn't be using vacuum cleaner, it pollutes? You got a problem. If you got a job, you do your best to do your job. You don't bring your personal problems and different things into it. You do your best. Therefore, when you show up to sell the vacuum cleaner or the polluting car or whatever it is you're doing, you are honoring the person that wants to buy it. They have the right to not get an electric car. They have the right to try and buy what they want. I want to help them. I want to serve them. And I'm telling you right now, you bring that energy, you're going to make changes. As opposed to, no, I am what I said I am inside, and if it doesn't match what I am, I don't have anything to do with it. Okay, then you have a problem, and you're going to cause nothing but problems. You're judging. You're sitting there destroying everything. Now, does that mean that I can't work for the environment if that's where my head's at? No, of course you do. But if your job is to sell that car, you sell that car. But what do I do with the part of me that doesn't want to do it? Let it go. Why? I told you. 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. Stop. Hear me. It's the truth. Did you know that? That's how small this planet is. 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. And the sun is one of 300 billion stars in your galaxy. And you're going to worry about what kind of car you're selling. You have to expand your frame of reference to accept reality. And by the way, that's 300 billion stars in one galaxy, and there are 2 trillion galaxies. Let's not get hung up on the, not little stuff, the minuscule stuff. Now, once you get out there and clear, and you're not dumping your stuff on everybody else, now I'm clear. I'm able to serve. I'm able to help and do its best. Now, while I'm doing that, is there anything I can do to help the environment, to help women's causes, to help it's not that you don't do that, but you don't do that because you're not okay. You don't do that because you're angry. You don't do that because something happened to you and there was a glass ceiling and now I'm going to fight that. You're bringing anger and darkness into the situation. No. Bring love and light and clarity into the situation. But it doesn't mean you don't march. It doesn't mean you're not an activist. But you're not an activist to get things the way you want them. I'm not doing this because I can't handle it the way it is. I have accepted and honored that I'm on a planet spinning in the middle of nowhere for a few years. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to get all weird. So now I'm honoring everybody's right to be the way they are. And now what can I do to help? But not help me. What can I do to actually help the situation? So it's not that you're not interacting. It's that you're not interacting because you can't handle it. If you can't handle it, you shouldn't be touching it. You're the last person to come up to me and say, I can't handle the sight of blood. Well, then I hope you're not the one that shows up when I have a car accident. As opposed to, I can handle it, I charge into it, I know how to do tourniquets. Okay? So if you can't handle something, you're the last person in the world that should be there, aren't you? But what you do is say, I can't handle it, so you all better change to match me. But what do you think the other side is saying? I can't handle it, so I better change the way I want it. And there you go. We're talking about Taoism. You're talking about clarity. You're talking about balance. Let go of the personal, then interact out of clarity with what you can do. So this is where, now I've said business is part of your spiritual growth, relationships are part of your spiritual growth, children are part of your spiritual growth, children throwing tantrums in the department store at 2 years old, terrible twos, are part of your spiritual growth. Your husband or wife coming home and not even saying hello, just had a bad day and marching straight into the room and slamming the door, part of your spiritual growth. It's all part of your spiritual growth. If you are willing to work on yourself seriously, that's what happens, is you realize, whoa, wait a minute, this is the reality unfolding in front of me, and something inside of me is freaking out. Do I want that part of me to run my life? No, I don't. Is it work to let go of that part? Are you supposed to suppress it? No, you suppress it, it's come back up in spades. You have to relax through it. You just say, okay, this is the moment. This is the guy reacting. I got an ego, you all do. You see the ego real strong when you do this. And you just keep relaxing and letting go. Relaxing. And all of a sudden, I'm going to close. If the only benefit was you stop making a mess of your life and everybody else's, that would be kind of great. But that is not the benefit. The benefit is the cloud of your personal self starts to melt away. Why? Because you let it. You didn't feed it. You didn't commit yourself to it. You said, I don't need this going on inside of me for the few years on this little tiny planet in the middle of nowhere. I can handle things. And you relax through them. You keep letting go. And all of a sudden, at some point, I guarantee it, you're going to start feeling this energy rushing up inside of you. Call it spirit, call it Shakti, call it Chi. I don't care what you call it. Basically, it starts coming up inside. And then it gets stronger. And the more you let go, the stronger it gets. And the less you let go, the weaker it gets. And you start seeing the relationship that there's a river of joy inside of you. But you have blocked it with the stuff you stored in there. So now you committed yourself. Now I'm not trying to get what I was really looking for, which was joy and strength and security and happiness and inspiration. I just found another way to get it. And this way it works. And you just keep letting go, and then it gets stronger and stronger. And eventually it gets so strong, it's always rushing up inside of you. The Bible calls it the rush of holy waters. So it comes up, And it's pouring up inside of you, and at some point, it pulls you into it. Just like love pulls you into it. A beautiful sunset pulls you into it, doesn't it? It comes in so deep that you just melt. It blew my mind. It was such a beautiful experience. That sunset, I felt I was in the presence of God. It just melted me. That's what the Shakti does. But it's happening inside. It's independent. It's unconditional. It's always happening. And then go higher. And so far, I'm going to stop, but so far we have not talked about high spirituality. That's not a very high state. What? Feeling love and joy and inspiration all the time rushing up inside of you. Where the great ones went, the great masters, is that got so strong that the whole of their consciousness let go and melted into it, like you do in the arms of your beloved. But now this is the arms of the universe. That's what it means to fall in love with God. Not you believe in it. You actually experience something that's so beautiful you can't even hold yourself back. And then the drop of your consciousness falls into the ocean. That's enlightenment, by the way. I know you can have an enlightening experience. That's not enlightenment. True enlightenment is you're not there anymore. The drop of your individual consciousness has merged into the infinite, beautiful universe. And that's what's here. That's what Christ meant by my Father and I are one. You're capable of such a state. All right. So the important point of this talk was, it is not a separation of your spiritual life and your worldly life. They are the same thing if you use them properly. And that's the only way to do it, by the way. Otherwise, you're suppressing one or suppressing the other, making choices. There are no choices. It's all about, God, just a nice Jewish yogi and I sure Christ. What's it about? Dying to be reborn. It's killing me, let go of this stuff. You know what I mean? That's what it means. You just keep letting go, and it will take you to very beautiful places. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Jai Gurudev.